Okay, I'm George Fortier. I work at Advantage Chevrolet as a service technician, and I'm answering Juan's question. He had asked how often he should change his oil and why and what would happen if he didn't. Well, all of that depends on the type of driving that you do. Okay, depending upon the vehicle that you have, I'm sure you have an oil life monitor if you're, it must be a newer vehicle. And it goes by how many short trips, how many long trips. The longer the trip, the better. The shorter the trip, you get acids and water forms inside your oil, and then so your oil life monitor will be expanded even more. As a general rule, GM come out with it, spent a lot of money doing it and doing the research for the oil life monitor. And in a perfect world, and if you drove in a dry climate, 55 miles an hour, okay, you could conceivably go 7,500 miles before you'd have to change your oil. That's the far end of the oil life monitor. Or you may have to change it as quickly as 4,000 or 3,000, depending upon the oil life monitor kind of driving that you do. A lot of city driving, stop and go, is you're going to have to change it more often. But in any event, you may also have to add oil if you go to the far end, because I got in a little trouble about this before. I'll say it again. An engine's going to go through a little bit of oil every time you use it. It's not burning it, it's using it. Every engine, every time you run your vehicle, a drop of oil goes on top of your piston to lubricate the cylinder. Otherwise, if you don't do that, the engine's going to burn up within a matter of 5 miles. Okay, so that's going to happen. But check your oil often, and GM also has on your vehicle a low oil light to let you know when to add a quart of oil or 2 quarts. Usually that light comes on, I think, around 2 quarts when you're low. And that's when you should put in 2 quarts and read your sticker, read your owner's manual, should tell you. But my rule of thumb, if you're going to ask me, that's the cheapest thing you could do your vehicle. And here at Advantage Chevrolet, we basically give that away, because you're going to have a certified journeyman replacing the oil on your car and doing a diagnostic check on your vehicle. Check all, service check. And that all comes free. If you have anything coming to you from the warranty company or GM or whichever things, we'll point that out to you. We'll have it up in the air. If there's a branch hanging in your axle shaft or something, a piece of plastic hanging off your catalytic converter, let us look at it. We'll pick it up in there and do it, and we'll do it right. Okay? And plus, we'll make sure we put the correct amount of oil in your vehicle, and make sure we tighten the drain plug, because there's some people out there might tell you stories about how they've tried to save $5 somewhere else, and someone who maybe didn't have as much experience may not have tightened the plug up enough, or at least not even put it in some cases, and then you have an issue. At least if you get it done here and something bad happens like that, not to say we couldn't do that, but if it were to happen something like that here, we have to stand behind it, okay? We can't say go back to a dealer, it's not our fault, because we are the dealer, and for us to be able to sell cars here, we have to make sure we take care of our customers. I hope that answered your question, okay, Juan? If you have any more, just let us know. Thank you. But I would change it every 3 months or 3,000, or at least every season change, or at least twice a year.